This has been brought up a couple times, so let's take a look at it here. Couple of different entries perhaps could be identified. That 830 move above some short-term highs. Again, maybe traders took advantage of that reversal off of the 50-day or a little bit more progress in the base here. Where does it stand now in your view?
Well, a lot of times when something gets right up to that prior area of resistance, 49.49 in this case, and does drift down, I like to see it happen on lower volume, which, this looks pretty okay. It's definitely below average. So I'm kind of looking for, I'm viewing this as kind of like a handle formation. And so if you did buy off the 50-day moving average line, I think you just have to watch and say, okay, can I hold that? Maybe if you had progress from there, you might not be so willing to go negative on this trade if it was a recent purchase. But for me, I'm kind of looking, I did add a little bit as it crossed above 45, and I'm looking to potentially add if this kind of breaks a downtrend in the handle, or maybe even add a little bit more if it crosses above 49.49 with power. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I feel like I still do have some room to go a little bit more aggressive on this one because I have cushion. When you have cushion, this is straight from Bill O'Neill, founder of Investors Business Daily. When you have cushion, you can play different. It's kind of like playing with house money in Vegas. So you can be a little bit more aggressive, and that's how he often got those big gainers. That not only did he have a big percentage gain, but it made a big difference in his portfolio because it was a large percentage, a large weight. And in fact, David Ryan discussed this in some pretty good detail not too long ago on the podcast when explaining how did he get back-to-back US investing championship wins in the 80s. And it really was all about that concentration. So now you do have to kind of see if that fits with your model of your personal trading philosophy and your personality.
Risk
David also
tolerance
risk
and
tolerance.
all that good
David
stuff.
shared that he was a gunslinger in his 20s, back then, and you not only do you play different with cushion, you also play different with age, and where you don't need to be making as much money, and when you can easily kind of come back from blowing up your account just because your salary and your
It's
account
smaller,
winnings
yeah.
are roughly the same. But when you start increasing that portfolio and it's becoming like a big nest egg, your tolerance for blowing up an account becomes a lot less. You don't want to start over. You can start over in your 20s, no problem. You've got a lot of runway ahead of you. You don't want to start over necessarily in your 50s or 60s. That becomes a little bit more difficult.
Mhm.